So in the last video, we talked about duality. We talked about grounding yourself in matter. So this is matter, and this is non-matter, or the non-physical and the physical. And we talked about how this relationship of grounding yourself in the physical, and you need to ground yourself in the non-physical. Now the notion, the idea of grounding yourself in the non-physical is something which is often new to people, but people do it every day. So for instance, if you have a business, it's really important to ground yourself in the physical, because you're going to develop that business on the physical plane. But to do that, you have to be in flow. And this is how you ground yourself in the non-physical in order to sustain the flow where you think things need to go. Because this is all about what happens in decision making. Now, I also said in the last video that I was going to tie this into the throat center and how the throat center is responsible for doing this. So we all have an energetic area here, which we have 7, as you know, that run up the spine, and then we have the throat center as part of those 7. Now, the throat center operates very much as a step from physical to non-physical in you. So the lower part of yourself really operates around your physical interaction with being here. Whatever way you want to look at it, when you were born, you entered into the physical realm. Now you may think there's no other realm, that's fine. But if you take the idea of an idea starts somewhere and physicalizes. So even if you want to take it into a simple premise, the action of something coming from somewhere and becoming something, a physical form, that happens every day. Now in the throat center is responsible for bringing in that action. We do it with words. It's what's commonly known as we manifest through our command. So our words have power. Our words create possibility. If we go around saying, we feel awful, we feel terrible, oh my God, my life is worthless, then that's more or less what is going to manifest. What's so important about the throat center is how it lifts you into the non-physical. But if it's not working very well, if it's not balanced, then this process is going to break down. In other words, where you are within your throat center at any given moment relies on the balance between these two worlds, the non-physical and the physical. And you may be going, well, how do I know? How do I know my throat center is balanced? And I will throw it back at you, because you are grounded in both of these worlds. How does that manifest? You have a business. You want to be in flow, you want to be successful, you want things to go along nice and easy, you don't want huge problems, you don't want things that are going to pull you down. So you need to remain in some form of trust. But that trust isn't random. It isn't, I wake up in the morning and I trust, I will sit here and then things will happen. In the physical plane, things need to be pushed. They need us to make things happen. Now, in the non-physical, it works slightly different. How do I ground myself in nothingness? Okay? So, in the process of being in these two worlds, which you are simultaneously because you live in duality, grounding yourself in the non-physical is all about your truth. It's what you honour, it's what you know, it's your faith, it's your belief, it's your expression. This all comes through the process in the throat center. I'm speaking to you now and I'm giving what I hope is my truth to you. That's coming through me from the non-physical, and I'm manifesting it, and it's becoming a part of your thought process. Now, you could reject my thought process. It's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm saying is that is manifesting in the physical world. Someone will watch this video, hopefully. And if they do, then they'll see the process of me bringing something from that and placing it into here. However, if I don't ground myself within the non-physical, then that truth will not carry any weight. If I sit here just talking about physicality, we need to create so many tins of baked beans. What happens in this process is why? Does it have to be baked beans? What else is there anymore? All these things are a process of grounding yourself in the non-physical. That happens in your throat center. So if your throat center isn't working very well, it's not opening up to your higher self. It's not allowing that higher self to then bring in. It's a two-way thing. Duality is a two-way thing. It's the physical and non-physical working together. Information goes from one to the other, back and forth. Information in your body does exactly the same. It comes up through you, comes down through you. Or the ascending and descending triangle, as it's known to mystics. So in that process, you are throwing things back into consciousness and bringing things into you all the time. Hence, you need to be grounded in both. In other words, if you want that success, this needs to be working extremely well, and that also means that as a human being, you need to be grounding yourself in this so you can use your higher self. If you work to achieve the best that you can, you're going to need this higher self.